Welcome back to the reaction video to High Point National. And this is in fact water, at least I hope it's water. Anyway, we're going to go through this live and unfiltered. This track is at 1,000 feet, which means most of the bikes are probably going to gear up, meaning they're going to go lower on the rear sprockets there. The complete opposite of what they did at Lakewood. When I asked the factory riders and the privateers, factory guys just said, hey, we're gearing down. The privateers actually said, yeah, I'm running a 51. I'm running a 52. And mostly on the 250s, I saw 52 on the gearing. Anyway, let's go through this sucker and let's see what this Yamaha Track Aero has to offer. Right off the bat, looking at the start, I am going to say that he's in a good starting position. The whole shot is probably going to go from him to maybe 3 or 4 on the inside. The outside, no way. Yes, it is a high sweeping left-hander, which is cool. One of my favorite starts. Honestly, one of my favorite tracks on the series just because of the off-camber corners that they have, and they rip this sucker incredibly deep, so there ends up being a lot of lines, but most of the time and everyone starts just funneling to the inside bottom until the second motos where they have to really look for different lines. But here, let's see what he has to go through. I can't say has to offer because I already said that. 180 to another 180 to the iconic 90 to the double. This sucker is huge. You'll see either riders huck the inside and then roll and then try to seat bounce double. And if they double, they're going to double from the inside to the outside. If they're able to make the giant double on the outside, then they can cut back in and get a good line. And maybe we'll see somebody like Jet triple down here, at least one of them, to another 90 tabletop to a 180. That's going to be fairly inside. This is the section where we saw Ken Roczen almost lose it. You know, he lost the lead because he made a mistake here. Can anyone else beat Jet when he's healthy? Because he's been injured. He's been open about it. To this giant double, but we'll see some guys potentially triple off into this single. So they'll triple all the way into the single in the corner there. That is incredible. See Jason Anderson do it almost every year, and we even saw little Deegs do it as well. And come to this fast quad. And again, speaking of Deegan, he was one of the only 250s that was hucking the big quad there. And it looked sketchy, looked incredibly sketchy because of the amount of ruts that this track had going for it. To one of the first flat corners where I predict it's just going to be a follow the leader on the inside. And this back portion of the track ends up being tilled really deep. And because of the shadows, it's hard to see. So you'll see guys have a inside or outside line, but it's going to be so deep, they're probably not going to be a crap ton of passes come there. And after this 180-degree corner, this is a huge double. And I thought last year there might have only been 1 or 2 guys. I even want to say Dean Wilson might have been the only guy that was jumping it. And I can't say only guy because that probably is inaccurate. However, most guys are just going to roll off. We'll see if the track marker does it too. Yeah, he rolls both. But if you're able to jump over this, the amount of time you will save. This is honestly one of the biggest sections that you need to look at and keep an eye out for. And potentially, if Jet is healthy, he's going to be hucking that sucker for sure. Into a step up. I thought this guy used to come downhill a little bit, but maybe they changed the track a little bit where it used to come down through here and have this nice, big, long uphill slippery section, but they don't have that anymore. So maybe they got rid of the entire slippery section. 180-degree corner to a double to flat tabletop. And that's not a tabletop. That is a single into the corner. Maybe we'll see somebody like Sexton huck it to try to get around people. This would be a good passing point to try to jump up on the inside of somebody to stuff, especially on a 90-degree corner, down to a incredibly slippery section where riders are going to funnel into the inside. That's going to be the line. But if you're trying to make a pass, these guys will go to the outside because they'll try to keep the momentum up coming down the downhill. To the uphill, large triple before the finish line. Gonna huck into the inside here and then back to one of the coolest start stretches ever because these guys just start hammering down 5th gear WFO, starting putting their helmets down so that their visors can protect them because Roost is coming at them at 69 miles an hour back across the start. Man, I want to see Tom Vialle do incredibly well. If honestly, Hymas has got a lot of confidence coming from the last 2 rounds, and Deegan has pretty much got everything to lose at this point. He has made a statement saying that he is the best guy in the series as of right now. He's the fastest guy. Tom Vialle needs to do something, and I'd like to see Tom Vialle get a little bit more aggressive, but the way he races, he's going to want to get a good start and not have to deal with Deegan whatsoever. Let Deegan sort of implode himself. In the 450 class, Sexton, this is a make it or break it type of a race. Yes, Lakewood, he tried to make it, but he broke it. He needs to have that same I don't give an F mentality to come in here and make big moves. He has to make big moves because he's got to dwindle down the points lead. He's got to get his points lead back. And Jet needs to just be his old self. Just his old self, start busting out things that other people can't do, and remind everybody that, hey, he is untouchable, especially when he is healthy. Hunter, another dynamic. Hunter has to hang it out a little bit because he doesn't need to go into defense mode. This would be a perfect time for him to whip out 2 really good motos and come away with the overall for once. Not just hold on to the points lead, but he needs to make a statement. It's early enough in the season to where if he does mess up, his consistency can make up for it in the long run, especially standing on the podium, but that's not what he wants to do. He wants to be that number 1 HRC Honda. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe and like button, and until next time, as always, keep it WFO. Ba-ra-da-da-da-da!